Hi, my dear friends. Hello, my dear brothers and sisters. Happy Sunday to all of you. Welcome to Pathways of Hope. This is Bobby Kitain, and allow me to share with you my reflection based on today's gospel from the Gospel according to Matthew. Meron ba sa inyo dito ang may kagalit sa buhay nila? Is there anybody in your life that you really dislike and you hope that that person would be removed from this world because you think that if this person is not in this world anymore, this world will be a better place? Well, in today's gospel, particularly in the parable that Jesus told them, the servants went up to the master and said, "Master, you sowed some seeds of wheat the night before, but this morning some weeds grew beside the wheat. Do you want us to remove the weeds so that the wheat can grow?" And the master told them, "No, don't do that. Because if you pluck out the weeds, you might pluck out the wheat as well." Why? You see, the word weed there is better translated as tares. Tares is a kind of weed which resembles very closely what a wheat is. So if you have a wheat and a weed beside each other, you will not be able to distinguish between the two. Malalaman mo lang kung alin ang tares, alin ang weed, at alin yung wheat pag malaki na sila. When they're grown, you'll be able to distinguish between the two. But as they are growing, you won't be able to distinguish between the two. And therefore the master said, don't do that, because you might mistake a weed for a wheat. Now, my dear friends, what is the gospel telling us today? That yes, there are people in this world today which we might brand as bad people, and maybe they really are. But it's never our position to judge. Why? Because we are not in a good position. We do not have the capacity to distinguish clearly between who is good and who is bad. There are people who look good, but they're actually evil inside. And there are people who might seem very bad, but they are actually good people in the eyes of God. What am I saying? It's not for us to judge, because only God knows the heart of each person. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't judge bad actions. If a person does something bad, you better call it out. As a Christian, it's our responsibility to point out the evil things that people do, but never, ever brand people as bad. What is our role? In the gospel today, the master told them, just leave them be. So, what did the servants do? We can infer that the servants continued to care for the wheat without distinguishing between the wheat and the weeds. What is it? What's it telling us? It's telling us that we ought to love. Whether good or bad people, our call is to love. That is our role. Our role is to love people. Leave the judging to God. My dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, I know what I'm asking you today is not easy, but that's what God calls every Christian to do, to love and leave the judging to Him, because in His own way and in His own time, there will be a time of reckoning. And at that time, He, not us, will be able to distinguish between the good and the truly bad. As for us, our role is to love. Love everyone as best as we can. And leave the judging to God. Today, I want you to ask yourself the question, have I been in the habit of judging people? Perhaps it's a good time today to step back and say, it's not my role to judge. My role is to love. Leave the judging to God. If you have been blessed by this video, feel free to press the share button that others too might be blessed on this marvelous Sunday. God bless you all.